finally a fifth dealing also took place that has aggravated the entire problem and has a snowballing effect over the years, and that was dealing between the monetary economy and the physical economy. Money played a revolutionary role in the economic history of mankind as a facilitator, intermediary for production. Barter was able to satisfy the needs of the people at a particular level of development, but it was an obstacle to development. Money provides the breakthrough, but then money was the instrument for promotion and production of goods and services. So the equation from CC became CMC. Commodities turning into money. Money again leading to production of commodities and services. And that is how a balanced, a prosperous society will be created. The Quranic verses we have just heard at the beginning of the seminar are very important. It's being said that Allah has sanctioned bet and prohibited riba. What's the difference? The fair model is one where money plays the role of a measure of value and an instrument of exchange, a facilitator, a link, a means to the growth of the physical economy and society, the flow of goods and services. It is assets. That is what gives life what is needed. The prosperity, the affluence, the well-being, it is through this process. But if M produces only M, and the role of increasing production, affecting physical economy, enhancing the flow of goods and services, their production, their exchange, their distribution, then it becomes exploited. That is what is happening. That's why interest in banking and financial houses and the whole financial arrangement has played a very important role in the transformation of both domestic and global economies. And the worst has taken place in the last 70 years, as was referred to by my colleagues in the panel as well as from the floor. The physical economic transactions and the monetary transactions every day, the difference is between 1 to 50. The monetary transactions, latest studies show that 1.3 trillion worth of transactions take place every day. But that is simply 50 times more than the real physical transfer of goods and services. The GDP globally at the moment roughly is about 50 trillion. But the banking assets of the Western world only exceed 200 trillion, and derivatives, they are crossing 900 trillion. So this whole fiduciary gap, which is only enriching the rich and will not affecting the production. That is why, on the one hand, there is explosion of affluence for some, and on the other, immiseration and deprivation for the other. So this whole idea of Wall Street occupation, with one liner, we are the 99%, is indicative of this situation. As has been said, in the United States of America at the moment, 17% of the population is below poverty line. Real unemployment is over 20%. On the other hand, as far as the rich are concerned, even this crisis has not made any difference. I would like you to rely on just one simple point. In one go, the US provided some $760 billion bailout to a dozen banks, investors, who were responsible for this crisis. But the 2 million house owners whose takeover the same financial institutions started and who were thrown out of their homes in this richest and largest democracy, what was done to bail them out? They were not the, and who was paying for the $760 billion bailout? The taxpayer. So this is the problem. And that is why it needs not just some tinkering here and there, not just some reform of capitalism. If you look into all the reports and see that is coming, I agree that there is a mainstream approach, there is also an approach of a minority. But they are raising the same questions as were raised after 1929 Great Depression. They say that austerity, fiscal discipline, bailouts, more lending, some regulatory control for which there is not a resistance. So the irony is that while capitalism wants non-interference from government to enable them to make their profits, if there is a crisis, they want the government to step in and bail them out at the cost of the common man. That is the crisis. So what is needed is not just some regulatory oversight, some more money to be put into the economy, stimulus. Yes, I am not denying that they do play a role, but that's not the answer. If we adopt this, these would be palliatives. They can give you some respite, but you cannot come out of this perennial crisis. To come out of the perennial crisis, and you approach it. And in that approach, the 5 dealings that I have tried to find out, we have to rediscover their alliance. And may I say that one of the main reasons of crisis in economy today is that we have deliberately separated analysis from vision. Throughout history, vision has played the dominating role. Analysis was an instrument, a servant, and policy was a result. Now vision is not there. It's a crisis of vision. We are content with analysis. Analysis alone cannot deliver. So what I would like to submit is that what is needed is not just some modification and change, reform within capitalism, but a transformation. And that transformation calls for a new approach. And I can say that at least on the periphery, now there are voices which are emphasizing this aspect.